Hi, I'm Professor Beck Strah.
And I'm producer Brit, and this is Prison News.
It's the news, put on your new shoes, 'cause it's time to get up off your chair and hear the news without a care. Said it's the news, wash away your blues, 'cause it's the prison news.
Ahoy, dudes, get up and make some noise because it's time for that prison news.
Here we are.
Ahoy, Sailor Brit.
Hello, salutations.
Greetings. It's good to see you, my brother, my friend, my comrade. Welcome to the news, baby.
Welcome.
Let me kick us off. We got some news today.
Tell me.
The news is that in Pennsylvania, women with life sentences, they could have a new shot at freedom. And so there are like 1,100 prisoners in the state of Pennsylvania who are kind of in limbo at the moment because let's start out at the Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Muncie. 23 women there are currently serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole for second-degree murder. And in March, the state Supreme Court of Pennsylvania said, no. That is unconstitutional. And it affects all convictions going forward. And if that affects all convictions going forward, they should look back to the past convictions, right? They should say,
Absolutely.
Okay, anyone who was sentenced to life without parole for second-degree murder, that should be unconstitutional.
Yeah.
You would hope.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. Instead, they left the decision up to the legislature for how it will impact past convictions, leaving 1,100 people not knowing what's going on.
I don't know that.
Let's take into account that this concerns mandatory life without parole sentences. It doesn't concern, like, if you're doing like 400 years on sentences, that doesn't concern you, which that part sucks, but whatever. So on June 25th, Senate Republicans, they responded to the Supreme Court decision by authoring a bill that imposed a minimum sentence of 35 years for second-degree murder. And if we're getting rid of life without possibility of parole for second-degree murder, why would we be imposing 35 years minimum? Because
that's basically a life sentence if you commit murder around 30 or so. Like,
especially if you are coming from a background without a healthy diet or access to good health care.
Right. Or, and we know prisons don't provide good health care.
They provide health care, but it's not, the Constitution doesn't say it has to be the best health care.
Right.
So, in the Republican bill, it said 35 years for second-degree murder, a minimum of 35 years for second-degree murder, except in cases where the defendant meets a strict set of guidelines, like they didn't have intention to commit the murder, they didn't have knowledge or participation in the murder itself. And in those cases, they can get a sentence of 10 to 40 years. What?
How? If they didn't intend to commit the murder, how does it qualify for murder in the second degree?
Are you familiar with felony murder?
Unfortunately, I am. Unfortunately, I am, and that's a bad rule.
Some states consider it as first-degree murder. Some states don't. Felony murder, for the uninitiated, this is if I am committing a felony, say I'm robbing a convenience store, and my friend who I'm robbing the store with, producer Brit, fires a gun into the air, and the gun, the bullet ricochets, and the convenience store clerk dies. I can be charged with felony murder, meaning that I end up doing a lot of time on a murder that I didn't commit and had no intention of committing.
Terrible rule.
Absolutely terrible rule. Working together with my friend and colleague Stuti, did an article on this a few years back, and it's absolutely garbage. Get rid of this, just eliminate it, wipe it off the books, because there's way too many people across the United States sentenced on felony murder when a lot of other countries have done away with it because it is so dumb. Anyway, there's a competing bill in the Democrat-led House of Pennsylvania that caps sentences at 50 years. And it expands eligibility. 50 years is still like way too much time for people change over time. If I'm 20 years old and I get 50 years, that's still a life sentence for many people. It expands eligibility for parole after 25 years based on the defendant's level of culpability in the crime and consideration of public safety, consideration of victim safety. I think we need to be a little less tough on crime, you guys. I'm not saying pat murderers on the back, but recognize that people can change and recognize that there are programs that help people change, and helping people out of shitty circumstances like poverty and distress is like enact more of that.
You know what's really tough on crime is funding education.
I thought you were going to say McGruff, the crime dog. I think he takes a bite out of crime, and that sounds pretty tough.
He does take a bite out of crime, which, like, I wonder how crime tastes.
I bet it's salty. It's not sweet. Crime's not sweet, baby.
Probably salty and bitter. Maybe a little bit of umami in there.
Yeah. What crime would cocktail be?
What crime would cocktail be? That's a great question. What crime would cocktail be?
I'm stupid today. I've not gotten a lot of sleep. And so what crime would cocktail be? I think it's a margarita is what it sounds like to me.
A margarita with no triple sec.
Yeah, there you go. It's a raw, bitter concoction.
Just lime and tequila.
So that bill is currently in committee. If the lawmakers can't meet consensus across party lines, then what happens is people convicted of second-degree murder in Pennsylvania, they will go back to the court system for resentencing. And what happens then is it gives judges a wide latitude that could potentially result in new sentencing disparities. Now, some of the people interviewed in the article I was browsing from the Prison Journalism Project, they think that smaller, more rural areas will end up giving harsher sentences, while more left-leaning areas like Philadelphia will give more lenient sentences. And they will run into this very stupid problem of having like the latitude in sentences is going to be way too wide. And if you and I commit the same crime, justice, if there is any justice in this world, should have it so you and I get similar sentencing. And that's not going to happen.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. I've said before, in the justice system, there is no justice, but there is a system.
It's just us, baby.
Oh, you got 'em. Just us against them.
A problem for incarcerated people in this situation is they're getting way too much conflicting information. Nobody really seems to know what's going on, and that's leading to more fear. It's leading to more rumors and buzz in the prisons, and to not know what lies ahead for your fate, if you're going to be in prison next year, 20 years from now, when there's hope out there, hope can be a dangerous thing to dangle in front of people. Don't do that. So anyway, lawmakers, get it together. Pennsylvania, we expect better from you. We want better from you. Pull it together.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, give it to me, baby. What is the news?
Well, before that, I think we should give a big shout out to our lovely sponsor, the Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies. You know, they have so many lovely offerings in degrees, postgraduate certificates, postgraduate studies, all types of stuff. Let me break it down real hard style for you. We got international relations. We got public administration. How about sociology, legal studies, anthropology, political science?
Yeah, I like
forensic science. Look at all these sciences going on.
That's so cool. We're full of science.
We are.
You got science.
You got the School of Criminal Justice. And
my favorite of all.
Well, that may be yours, but my favorite also. Coming in first place, we got... Lease. leadership.
That was so good. I think that's your best one yet.
Well, I appreciate it.
That was quite a vocal performance. Thank you, Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies. We salute you, and thank you for your patronage.
Indeed. So let's get into some more news. This one comes out of futurism.com. It's by Joe Wilkins. And this headline says, "The Diarrhea Lettuce Company has been linked to forced labor."
This is going to connect back to prisons. I already see where this is going. I've created a mental map in my imagination.
Yeah, you're putting the red strings together. All right. So when the United States ratified the 13th Amendment in 1865, federal lawmakers very neatly outlawed slavery for good, but not entirely. Tucked within arguably the most important corner of the U.S. Constitution is a massive caveat, saying, quote, "Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall be duly convicted, shall exist in the United States," unquote. In the 160-some years since that amendment, a quieter type of forced servitude has lived on in the U.S., prison labor. From the debt peonage of the pro-Civil War Reconstruction era to the privatized contracting of the 21st century, prison labor is a massive moneymaker, generating $11 billion worth of goods in 2022 alone.
Whoa.
As horrifying as that thought is, one of the companies still benefiting from the practice is in the news for another reason: spreading a gut-busting diarrhea parasite through mass-produced shredded lettuce in grocery stores and fast food outlets. It turns out that Taylor Farms, the agricultural company widely believed to be behind the cyclospora outbreak currently raging through the U.S., is also heavily involved in modern-day forced labor.
What's another word for forced labor? Would it be uncool work?
Uncool work. Okay. Actually, so I got a great word for it. Capitalism.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's slavery. It's slavery. We all know it's slavery.
Yeah, dude.
In reporting from 2023 that was resurfaced this week on social media, the publication Prison Legal News revealed that Taylor Farms was contracting labor from the Arizona Department of Corrections, Rehabilitation, and Reentry for the low price of just $4.75 an hour, far below the cost of a non-incarcerated worker for the federal minimum wage. And to be clear, that's not the hourly wage paid to the inmate, which is capped at $1.50 an hour in Arizona. They put a cap on payment for prison labor, which is...
Well, it's only right. After all, we're giving them room and board.
They have a maximum wage of $1.50 an hour. $1.50 an hour. Think about that. Think about working a full 8-hour day, and you go home with $12 maximum.
Well, it's not like they can spend it anywhere.
Yeah, it's not like you can buy food in the prison.
No, it is like you can buy food in the prison. And guess what? That food often costs as much or more than it does outside the prison. And you expect people to get out of prison and survive and succeed, thrive in any way if they have no money on their accounts. Like here's $20 and a bus ticket. See you, dude. No, you are not. You're being set up to fail immediately.
Yeah,
because it's a complex. Because the system wants people to go back into prison. Like the system does not necessarily want people to succeed.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not how it's set up.
All systems and hierarchies exist to perpetuate their own existence, like first and foremost. And prisons are an institution that does just that. And like they need to justify the government funds they get, because if they drop below a certain prison population, then the money dries up. And so, inasmuch they correlate with legal departments and prosecutors and judges and cops in order to house the most people possible in order to get more money and justify their own existence. And that's it's not a good system.
No, it is an empire that has become bloated, and it carries way more weight than it actually needs to or was ever intended to. And the prison industrial complex is something I think about a lot. And we haven't done an episode solely on the prison industrial complex yet, but there's a lot of money out there that goes into prisons, whether it is construction of prisons, whether it's contractors selling like tasers, whether it's even like the toilet paper that goes into prisons. Like people are making money at every angle, and it is all in service of keeping people behind bars and this perpetuation of misery, especially when there's so many people behind bars who don't need to be there, and so many people behind bars who probably were sentenced to way too long of time for the actual crime they did, and they are not a danger in any way to themselves or the general public, and yet they are rotting for the rest of their lives or rotting for a long time. And it's this giant waste of human potential. We're just wasting human capital.
Yep. We're wasting human capital. We're wasting labor capital. I guess we're not, because we're paying them less than $1.50 an hour.
We are paying less than $1.50 an hour to people to make diarrhea lettuce, apparently. Please carry on with the story. We'll do another. I'll get off my soapbox.
Fair.
We'll do an episode somewhere down the line on the prison industrial complex. I need to figure out a way to make it more audience accessible and less me being angry and yelling about it.
No, we could do that too.
All right, that's cool.
So continuing here, Taylor Farms is just one firm involved in the practice in Arizona. Others include Hickman's Egg Farms, Nature Suite, and Tela Verde, each of which contracted labor from Arizona's DCRR's for-profit arm, Arizona Correctional Industries. Now, let me pause there and repeat that. Each of which was contracted from the Arizona DCRR, that's Department of Correction, Rehabilitation, and Reentry. Their for-profit arm, Arizona Correctional Industries. The state-run prison has a for-profit arm.
Yeah, a thing that we should have gotten away from a long time ago, or never should have had in the first place, realistically. A for-profit arm, it became unpopular a long time ago, and then they started masking it in different ways, trying to obscure the idea of making prisons for profit in any way. But prison labor is alive and well.
Yeah.
And for-profit arm, yes, prisons cost a lot of money. The money comes from taxpayers, but there's other ways to do it, like incarcerating less people.
Yeah. Yep. Shutting down some prisons, getting rid of some staff. And you know how you do that? You incarcerate less people. Not difficult.
The problem here is like shutting down prisons and cutting off some staff is correction unions also have a strong arm as well.
They do. It's one of the largest unions in California is their correctional officers union.
Yeah, like 10 years ago, I heard from people that they had like one of the strongest unions in the whole state of California, which is insane to think about. But because of corrections officers unions, I like that unions are there to protect people, and we talked about them on our recent news episode. But it should never become like a protection racket.
Right.
And it should not exist to keep prisons open. If we could potentially shut down prisons and save the state a lot of money, therefore saving taxpayers money and getting people out where they can live more fulfilling lives in greater society.
So spicy take here. I don't think that anything run by government should be trying to turn a profit.
Yeah, I agree. Except the post office. I think that they should try to make money off those stamps, because some of those stamps, they'll have like Elvis on them. And you know what? Elvis isn't part of the government. So I think they should make a profit off that.
You don't think Elvis was a CIA agent?
I take it back.
Right. Arizona Correctional Industries' job is basically to churn out bulk goods for the state of Arizona. Like license plates, though, it makes quite a bit of money selling the labor hours of incarcerated people to private companies. Worse yet, some of these incarcerated workers may have been there as non-citizens, meaning it would be illegal to employ them in the same low-wage jobs if they weren't being held in detention. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that.
Let's incarcerate non-citizens so that we can put them to work, but not for like labor where they're in the community and they can support their families. Let's put them to work for us where we can pay them nothing and still have them do menial labor.
Imagine like a bunch of white men sitting in an office being like, so how can we pay immigrants less? And they came up with this.
Yeah. The worst part is it's not like the bad mustache twirling. It's not even that. It's not like a handful of people doing this in office. I'm sure it's so disconnected through bureaucracy, and it's just people signing e-documents and it's like people with bad intentions signing e-documents and just like, hey, yeah, no problem. And it's so banal that it just gets passed down the chain, and they go, yeah, sure. And there are really bad faith individuals involved, but it's going to be so boring in how it actually happens rather than like the guy at the top with the evil plan.
Right. So in all, Arizona DCRR told Prison Legal it had hired out 15,700 Mexican nationals between 2008 and 2023, though they couldn't say how many of those workers were undocumented immigrants.
They couldn't say?
They couldn't say.
Or they won't say.
They won't. Is Ruben Reyes, director of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, told the publication at the time, quote, I'm venturing a guess that a large majority of the people who are labeled a Mexican national by DCRR are unauthorized to work here. Put into context, the revelation is a horrifying twist in an already nauseating story of corporate greed and deregulation. Though the institution of slavery may have been formally abolished, its legacy lives on, fully embraced by the for-profit companies pumping our food supplies full of parasites. Taylor Farms was contacted and didn't respond to a request for comment.
Oh, there must be some mistake. I'm sure they meant to, but they didn't get it in time or something. I put all my faith in like them as a company. I think they're good.
Yeah, imagine being a social.
Didn't they make a contribution to like the president or something, and then the government said, "Oh no, we roll it back. It wasn't Taylor Farms. That was a mistest.
Yes,
false positive."
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I believe them.
Yep. So
I think they're good.
That's our awesome news for the week. Feeling real good about that. Yeah. So.
Me too. Let's move on to something we like better than the news.
Let's do it. You want to get into some Brit's picks or some Beckommendations?
Let's do Brit's picks.
Let's do it. All right, let's get into some Brit's picks. So I'm going to start out with some music. Recently released was Madonna's newest album, Confessions 2, which is a follow-up to her early 2000s album, Confessions on a Dance Floor. And I really liked this album. They kept trying to market it to me on Grindr, so I didn't listen to it for a while because I'm like, well, fuck you. I don't like to be told what to listen to. But
get out of here, Grindr.
Yeah, right. But I ended up listening to it, and it is a great like return to form. Like all of the songs sound very much like late 1990s, early 2000s like club bangers with like deep bass. There's a lot of like deep house influence in there. It's a great return to form for Madonna, and I enjoy the heck out of the album. It's highly recommended.
It would be amazing if you were like, stop trying to recommend this to me, Grindr. I'm not even gay. Why am I even on here?
Says the Republican congressman at a convention. Yeah.
I did not like the song she's got with Sabrina Carpenter, but I've not listened to the rest yet. I'm excited to listen to it now.
I'd give the whole album a listen. It's quite good. Next, I'm going to recommend a show. So I think it's on Showtime. We got the 3rd season of Interview with the Vampire that they're just calling The Vampire Lestat because it is a adaptation of the novel The Vampire Lestat. True to form for the show, though, they make it much gayer and much hornier, which is a hard thing to do in an Anne Rice novel because Anne Rice novels are very horny. And I have been watching through it, and I'm really enjoying it so far. If you're into, queer vampire media, this is right up your alley.
I would like to see the vampire do a crossover onto like The Pit, where he's working in the ER, and they're like, "Get over here! We need 50 cc's of blood, Lestat."
Oh no. And my last recommendation, our Brit's Picks, is going to be a little podcast that that Professor Beck was on here recently, Superstructure with Julian Field. It's a great little podcast with Julian Field, who you might know from QAnon Anonymous, or QAA as they're calling it now. And really great comedian named John Gabris as well. And they basically, Julian Field just like talks about systems and structures and hierarchies, and tries to radical very funny comedian John Gabris. And Professor Strah here recently had an interview on there. Unfortunately, it's a Patreon only episode, so you'll have to subscribe to their Patreon to listen to it. But it's a really good episode, and Professor Strah has some great insight. But it's a great little podcast. Highly recommended. All right, so those are Brit's picks. You ready to get into some Beckommendations?
Yep, I am.
Beck's Rex. Beck's Rex. Beck's Rex. Or Beckommendations. I recommend the Constitution of the United States. I recommend peeing in someone's yard. Objection, Your Honor. Beckommendations.
Yo, it's time for your Beckommendations crew. First up, we have the feature film, Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai.
Love that film.
I have not watched this movie in years, and I'd been thinking about it recently and how much I loved it, and it's so fun. It is a 1999 film starring Forrest Whitaker, directed by Jim Jarmusch. And Jarmusch.
Okay. He's Italian now. Jarmusch.
He's always been Italian. And it follows a man who likes reading a book about being a samurai. And it's this weird slow burn film about a hitman who works with the mob. And I love its depiction of the mob as like a bunch of silly, incompetent thugs, because I think that's probably what the mob really comes out to be a lot of the time. And Ghost Dog being this insightful, thoughtful dude who doesn't even speak the same language as his best friend. And there's a lot of beautiful moments in the film, and it's super funny. Can't recommend Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai enough. Your thoughts on it?
Love it. It's a great film. As you said, very slow burn, very atmospheric film. Great color palette. It's very like dark and blue. Yeah. Ghost Dog, he like lives on a rooftop and has a bunch of like pigeons and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. He's living a life, that guy.
Yeah, he is.
My second Beckommendation. The summer treat. You know it. You love it. S'mores.
Okay.
S'mores. I had some s'mores last night, and tell you what, s'mores rip.
Mm-hmm.
Any month of the year, s'mores are great.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm a noted and infamous hater on s'mores because I do not like the consistency of marshmallow very much.
Have you found a workaround for that? Anything to replace a marshmallow?
I mean, so I've had like a cold s'more with marshmallow fluff, and I kind of like that. But it's a much different consistency than marshmallow is.
I'd take that. Marshmallow is the weakest link in the s'more.
Definitely.
But there's no way around it. It needs some glue.
Right. Well, I mean, the problem is that, like, yeah, you need the chocolate to be melty for a proper s'more, right? And how do you do that without the marshmallow? Not easy.
It's a problem like how burgers, like a really good burger often has mayonnaise on it. And a lot of people don't like mayonnaise that much. Mm-hmm. But mayonnaise adds so much to the burger, even though by itself it doesn't really have that much to it.
Right. I mean, fat's flavor, it's delicious. We love mayonnaise on a burger.
Right. It's a necessary evil.
I would not call mayonnaise evil.
A culinary evil. Oh, culinary evil. That's the name of our book that we're working on.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's about a chef that the chef isn't evil. The knife is evil.
Ooh, okay.
And everyone thinks it's the chef, but it's like the knife killing people.
Right.
Guns don't kill people. Knives kill people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mantra.
That's something.
All right. It's a work in progress. It's a new idea.
We'll workshop that later.
Interestingly, my third recommendation was going to be Superstructure with Julian Field. Since it was already Brit's pick, I will say listen to Superstructure with Julian Field. But the QAA podcast, if you were interested in conspiracy theories or critical takes of online subcultures, and you want people who are funny, you want people who are knowledgeable and interesting and charismatic, I can't recommend it enough. QAA has been one of my favorite podcasts to listen to for years. Brit and media expert Spencer turned me onto it, and I can't get enough. Check out QAA. Formerly QAnon Anonymous.
Heck yeah.
For more information on like what QAnon has done to our culture, how it has morphed into like becoming mainstream politics and becoming something that is all around us that you still hear about all the time today.
That was more the early days. Like they have moved largely away from QAnon since that's not really a thing anymore, and moved on to like much different conspiracies and like government structures and things like that.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is like more recently, it's like talking about how it's morphed into the greater culture.
Sure.
So they will touch on that, but it is like talking about, like they've been doing recent episodes on the conspiracy theories around Charlie Kirk's murder, which is fascinating. And someone, Citizen Vigilante, this bullshit film from Uwe Boll that's notable that came out.
Oh, yeah. Starring Armie Hammer, the guy who wanted to eat his girlfriend.
Yeah. It turns out it's not a crime to want to eat your girlfriend, but it is a crime to eat your girlfriend.
Depending on what you mean by that.
All right. Well, that's our show.
And with that,
please rate and subscribe.
Yeah.
And you don't have to listen to us anymore if you don't want to. After that, I would understand you.
Yeah. And big thank you to our sponsor, Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies.
Yes. Thank you, School of Justice Studies. We salute you. And with that, it's a lights out.
It's a lights out, baby. Yeah.